Hi everybody, this is Seragio, the Grumpy Old Railroader, and we are here today looking at a different kind of railroad, and I wanted to do a Christmas video and wish all you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all such things, Happy Hanukkah, whatever is your religious orientation. Anyway, we're here on the Satisfactory map, so playing Satisfactory, and we have a different kind of railroad today. And it's Christmas, and they're dropping these presents all over the place. So I've been running about collecting presents for the points you get, and I've almost completed all the Christmas stuff. So that the special Christmas event. So it's been fun doing all the production involved in that. Anyway, this is my factory. This is my main base. I originally got Satisfactory when it very first became available, and you had to buy it on the Epic Game Store, or I should say the Epic Fail Store. And so I got into Satisfactory in a big way. And the last time I had played was July of 2019. And then the Liquids update came out, and I said, oh, I'm going to have to check that out. So I went to download that, and I couldn't play because Epic Games, for some reason, when I went to get the Liquids update, which I think was update 3, they, for some reason, deleted my transaction history prior to January 1st of 2020. And I bought the game in 2019 or whenever it came out, but the last time I had played was July of 2019. So anyway, five months rigmarole back and forth talking to customer service bots, or actually trying to communicate, but you don't get much out of them. I finally gave up on the Epic Game Store, and so I just put Satisfactory aside. Anyway, finally, my buddies Banana and also Shadow, Lost Shadow, that plays Railroads Online with me, that you guys have seen on some of my videos, they both wanted to play Satisfactory again, and I said, well, I've played Satisfactory a lot, but so I've just bought the game on Steam when it came on sale there for Black Friday, and so we've been fooling around with it ever since. So this map you see here was kind of where I left off in 2019. But when I came back, of course, all my coal generators quit working because they didn't have water, and all the fuel generators quit working because they didn't have the correct pipes of fuel going into them. So I spent a lot of time trying to get this thing working again, and you can see the main factory is still not working, and that is because of the power situation. What I did was I got my main coal generator here online, but it's still not enough to power my whole system, but it is letting me use the train, and some of my areas are working again. So I was going to give you a quick look at this. This is how I ended up. This was sitting here and it just had coal coming into it, no pipes, of course. So I had to get the pipes in here, and I just wanted to kind of go through some of the challenges that I had to deal with learning how to do this. And I don't know whether this will, hopefully this will give you guys some insights that I've gained, but maybe not. Anyway, what I originally had coming out here was one pipe. I had the correct number of generators out, or the pumps out here, and I actually need a little bit more than these guys are capable of pulling out of here. I just barely jammered 6 in here, but if you look, I'm overclocking by 125% to get enough water. And I had everything look like it was great, but I only had one pipe, and I finally realized, wait a minute, I need 900 cmm of water, And I'm pumping 900 cmm, but you know, and I had it piped for 900 cmm, but the pipe itself, you know, can only run 300. So that means I had to run 3 pipes. So once I got it all figured out, now I've got another generator running in another location that I had to use pumps on, but of course the water here is higher than the cold, so you don't need to use any pumps. I'm talking about additional pumps. So you got the pumps that pick up water, you know, but then if your generator is high enough, if it's more than 10 meters above the level of the water, then you've got to use lift pumps to push the water up. Anyway, you can see there's 2 pipes coming in here, and they connect together here. Where is that? Right here. So that it kind of equalizes. You got 2 pipes coming down this end, and then the first 6 here are on 1 pipe. So you've got 3 pipes coming in. One of them's coming in down here. So that's this guy. And then the other 2 split off in the middle, and one goes down one side and one goes down the other side down there. So that's where they're splitting off here. So I did that, you know, carefully to make sure that I kind of balanced the distribution of the water, and everything seems to be running great here. So there's 24 generators running on this. So that was kind of a challenge to figure all that out when I first came in. The only thing that kind of saved me, Banana and I were running around shutting everything off, trying to get the trains running again, because of course my power kicked off and that was it. Everything's interconnected on the grid to the train system, so it's just one massive grid, the way that all the power is interconnected with the train. So that made it kind of tough, but we turned enough off, and luckily I think I have 10 geothermal generators, and that is what saved me. So everything else went down, but the geothermal generators were still running, because all you do is place them and they go to town. So once we had enough stuff turned off, I could get the train running. This is my work train here, and this train is just chock-a-block full of different resources. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of my world here, and then I am going to build a 32-unit coal generator down by the Black Lake at the mushroom biome. And I was going to, I was just going to build it, and then I thought, well, some folks might get some. So this is like the 5th, because we're playing on a dedicated server, and I've played on a couple other people's worlds. So this is, let's see, this is going to be the 7th coal generation system that I've built since I came back to the game, with the water and everything. So I should have it down by now. But anyway, I've got all the numbers done, and so I'll kind of walk you through it. And it's pretty fun figuring it all out and getting it all laid out and so forth. So I wanted to share that with you guys. This, of course, is the Satisfactory map, which if you haven't played Satisfactory, it's really a great game. I don't think anybody hardly says anything bad about it on Steam. You know, it's overwhelmingly positive reviews. Anyway, I kind of ran this elevated because we're right in here. We're coming barely over the top. So I had to get kind of high to get up into the mountains here. Anyway, we're coming into Nobel Station, what I call Nobel Station. They call the explosives in here Nobelisk, which I'm assuming they're doing that after Albert or Frederick Nobel, whoever the guy that invented TNT and then felt so bad about unleashing all that destruction on the world that he gave everything he earned to charity and set up the Nobel Prizes. So anyway, that's my yard there. But that station back there, Nobel Station, is near sulfur mines, and that's what you need to produce weapons. So Have a weapons factory there. If there below, right there to the left, that's one of the geothermal generators. There's 10 of them in various places on the map, and they just the wires just wherever they are, they snake up and catch hold of the train or whatever. You can't hook into the track with wire, but if you have a station, there's a connection there. So the station at your original station you put down, you have to put power on that. But then the next station you put down, you can take power off of that. So you can use that to feed power. And these power lines that are running, all of those are probably going to geothermal. There's another one over there on the left. So there's geothermal down in here all over the place. But anyway, so I'm just giving you a quick tour of the train. Kind of runs around through the whole world here. This is what I call the northern caves, because there's a cave up there that's got quartz in it, and this plant here produces silica from the quartz, which you need to produce aluminum. So this is the Rocky Desert. It's one of the places where you can start the game. If you have it's one of the spawn locations. So where we started back there is the grasslands. That's the original spawn location. I believe that goes up. There's a cave up in here somewhere it's kind of a hidden biome. It's a kind of a complete biome in a cave. It's pretty cool. I think that's what that goes back to, but I don't remember. Up ahead here is what I believe the game calls this Grand Arch. On top, and I mean all the way on top of that arch that you see ahead there, is bauxite mines, and those are used for producing aluminum, and that's kind of a late game thing. Here's one of these crazy alien artifacts. I just left that one. It's kind of encased in that square, so I haven't harvested that one. I left it on purpose. Anyway, there is a kibitz style spiral conveyor belt going all the way up there to the top of the arch there to bringing down the bauxite ore. And it used to be you just ran bauxite ore through those smelters back there, and you got aluminum, and that's what this station was set up. You could picked up aluminum ingots with the train here, and then took them to another station where we made aluminum all-clad or something, aluminum, a product that you can use to make different building materials. So all this stuff is very interestingly interconnected. As we go through here, now I've got to rework the aluminum because they completely, when I came back, all that shut down because the process has changed. A lot of my plant was it was all shut down because of power, but it was a lot of production is still shut down because of the changes to the recipes and everything of what you have to produce. So now you need water, and you can see that water is way below where I've got the bauxite. So I've got to either pump it up here or come up with another solution. So haven't figured that out. But this down here is my fuel generation. So I've got 3 plants running, but I still don't have enough power. There's 8 fuel generators down there, and there is 16 refineries. 4 of them are, I mean, there's 8 of them are generating fuel and creating a byproduct of polymer, and then that runs into the refinery across from it, and those take that and create plastic with, you pump water, using water they create plastic that we can use. Now originally I had all this set up where this conveyor belt was coming from out here, and it was just running barrels of oil all the way into my main factory. So it was kind of crazy long belt. I think it's several kilometers away, but now all it's doing is sending the plastic. I already had the belt, so I figured I could pick it up with the train and bring it, but I'm just putting it on that belt and sending it up to the main factory. So that at least got some production back in. I am producing circuit boards again now that I have plastic, but I don't have rubber, so that's messing up some of the other productions there. So I've got to figure out another location where I can create rubber from some of the crude oil. But there's 3 crude oil wells out here, and they're all feeding into this power generation plant. So got this plant, and then back at Nobel Station there is a 12-unit coal generator back there. I didn't show it to you, but anyway, this is this road that you see to the left. Originally, I had trucks coming out here picking up the barrels, before there was such a thing as a train in this game. So you can see I was like crazy into this game. Now they have the little zoot thing where you can just lay a hole. But when I built all this road, there was no zoot. You had to put down each block separately, and you couldn't get a snap point on the. Couldn't get a snap point, so literally you had to put down a 4 block, then a 2 meter block, and then you had to put down the slope, and then I deleted the 4 meter block and the 2 meter block, put a 4 meter block in its place. I mean, it was a crazy long process. So it's so much easier now the way they've improved the tools. This station here was set up to take the aluminum ingots and process with copper and process all clad, which I'm assuming it would still do that, but we can't produce aluminum ingots, so I switched it over to produce copper sheets, which we need for the piping, for all the piping. And then that spur that you see going off to the left, that runs back to the quartz cave, and that is where we're mining quartz crystals and then turning those crystals into crystal oscillators. So there's a factory back there that makes crystal oscillators. So I had a train program that would run back there and pick up the processed crystals and then take them to the factory and unload them, and then it would move up and load the crystal oscillators, and then it would come back to our main factory here. And I had a sorting. I should have showed you that when we were there, but we don't really need to go back to the main station. We're coming to it. This station here is just here because of the falls that you see in the background. This was such a beautiful spot here. So this is High Falls Station, and it's just, a lookout, I guess. Anyway, and there is our main factory. We're back to that. So you've seen most of what's going. You missed a couple of. You didn't actually get to see the base there at Nobel Station or the power generation station. But so what we're going to do here is take this spur ahead. If we go through the Y that you see there, if we go through that to the left, we would just go back into the main station. But we're going to take the spur to the right, and that's going to take us around into the mushroom biome. There is, see how easy it is to throw switches in this? That's so sweet. It's just A and D when you're running the train. And all the switches are spring-loaded, so GrumpyOldRailroader doesn't have the problem going through a switch and derailing the train in this game that he has in Railroads Online. Which is sweet. Anyway, this just kind of grayness that you see to the right, that's the edge of the map, and it's just an abyss. So if you fall off into that, you just gone, and everything that you had in your inventory, anything that goes off into the abyss is just gone. So that was fun building that out around the side of that. There we go. There's 4 blocks sitting there. Have no idea what those were about. This is crater base, and there is a bunch of limestone down there. And I didn't know what to do with it, but there's also coal nearby, so I ran a coal conveyor belt in, and limestone's coming in, and we're making compacted coal, which is useful for high turbo fuel or something. So yeah, that was being shipped back to the main base and processed into turbo fuel, but that is all changed with the addition of liquids, so I've got to refigure that out. But it's been a lot of fun trying to, re-engineer everything. All right, so here we're going down, and again, to the right, all that grayness is the abyss there, so this is the very edge of the map. And this little shelf is, walking anyway, was the only way you could get down here into the mushroom biome. And you had to blow up a rock down here somewhere, as I recall, to get through here with anything. You could climb over all that. I don't remember exactly. That's like I say, that's been a long time ago. So what we have here, this switch here, originally I was going to build a station off to the left out there for the coal generation, but once I got down there and scouted it all out, so that's kind of temporary track running right on the ground there. Once I scouted all that out, I decided I'm not going to build the coal generator over there, but that track I want to go on around and go through the marshes and go way on up north where I can get access to the new dunes biome up there. So there's a canyon that goes kind of in between the northern forest and the dunes, and I'm going to run the train through that canyon. So I'm going to make a big loop outside of the small loop. You can see I've already been down here. This is Black Lake. Anyway, here comes the train. I do like the load, unload, and all that business. Anyway, we're headed back to the main station, and this time we will head back with all alacrity, celerity, whatever speed-related word you prefer. Rapidity. Anyway, that's the abyss just to the left there. So this game's kind of crazy because it's like, it's not like Railroads Online where you can fall off the cliff and when I fix the track, I'll get rid of that little dip back there. But yeah, when you fall off, you're dead. And then if you're working way away from the base, you respawn back at the hub. And you've got of course now I've got so much stuff at the hub, and I've got extra weapons and every which thing. I can re-equip myself and go do what I need to do. But playing, at this point, playing by myself solo, although I have had some friends come in and help me in this. Shadow helped me run a copper to fix a problem we had at the weapons base and so forth. Ooh, almost missed a switch there. But mostly on here I play by myself because this is the one that I originally. So I mean, everything you see I built by myself in here because this game originally was not multiplayer. Anyway, this is our main station here. All this to the right uses smart sorters, so it doesn't matter what we deliver here, it sorts it out and puts it into the correct bin. So that's kind of cool. Figure out where I am here. There we go. Pretty sure well, I had to move my space elevator, as you can see. because I got into FICSMAS automation in a big way here. Yeah, I was just picking up packages and not really worrying about it. And anyway, I got to the very last update, or the last MAM research that you need to do here on it, and that's lets you get the star on the Christmas tree. And man, if you look at this, we need 500 stars, and each of those takes 5 wreaths and 20 candy canes. That's 10,000 candy canes, and there's 3. It takes 3 gift points to get 1 candy cane, so that's 30,000 points right there just for the candy canes. The wreaths take 18,750 points for the branches, and then of course you've got to generate red and blue ornaments, and then you've got to transfer those to gold and silver ornaments that then you use to make these ornament bundles, which are part of the recipe involved in making a wreath. So a wreath requires 15 and 6 for those ornament bundles to make 2 decorations. So you can see that we're talking about 70 or 80,000 points. So you're not going to run around and pick those up, obviously. Anyway, let's get that back in production. So we are cranking out a bunch of these bad boys. Need to put some in storage over here. We've already built managed to generate 932 wreaths. Had a little miscalculation there, but anyway, I kept adding the Christmas trees, thinking that because it says 15, it adds 15 presents a minute, so I kept thinking, well, more and more were going to fall from the sky. And then I got to looking at it, and I realized, because my buddy Pruto had said that he was watching a Kibitz video, and Kibitz said, the gift tree gives you more trees. So I see it says produces 15 more gifts per minute. So I thought, well, more and more gifts are going to fall. So I kept on making more and more of those Christmas trees. And then I noticed that Christmas tree has an output. And that output actually lets you connect, strangely enough, because I would not have thought of this, but anyway, it does let you connect a conveyor belt to these Christmas trees. So all of a sudden we are automated with gift production. There's where the 15. See, because if you don't get an interaction with that tree by pressing E button like you do on normal things, but when you set one of those trees, when you go to place one, you see that output there. So I hadn't noticed that, but anyway, I did, and so I realized we could fire that up. And then, Pruto said, "Oh, you just put down the gift trees," and I said, "Well, how do they work?" Well, I don't know. He watched a little bit of Kibit's video. Apparently, he didn't watch the whole thing to figure out how it worked. But, that's the way people watch YouTube videos, it seems like. But anyway, so we're in major production mode here with FICSMAS. So it's kind of fun. I'm getting a kick out of it. I've got this thing set up where it's producing the bundles, but then I can switch it over. I can take those bundles, put them in here, and feed them back, turn off my foundries, and then the branches are in here. and so I can just delete a conveyor belt and hook that up to feed the assemblers without redoing all this. I ran out of space here, and I didn't really feel like doing the Kivitz mega overkill, normal approach to this. But anyway, I figured I'm taking up enough space. This is where my space elevator used to be, and we moved it over to. That used to be my oil refinery over there, and and I was bringing in barrels on that conveyor belt, but that all changed with liquids. And like I say, I just did. I never, I got stymied on getting update 3, so I jumped from update 2, and the last time I played was in 2019 to this thing. Black Friday I bought it. Around that time I bought Satisfactory on Steam, and so I jumped right from update 2 to update 5. So, anyway, I'm really glad I got it. I got Satisfactory back. It's one of my favorite games. Anyway, I'll check back in with you when we get to the point where I'm going to produce that those 500 gold stars, and then we can actually see the gold. See, right now the mighty Christmas tree out here does not have a gold star on top, but we're going to get it on there. Alright, well, we've switched over to making wreaths now, so you can see that the ornament bundles and the line for branches are heading into my assemblers now. I've shut down the foundries there, so little Christmas factory. This is kind of crazy, but anyway. We've also switched all these over from making branches to making candy canes. We have a little smart splitter here where, if it's a candy cane, it throws it off there. Otherwise, the branches were going in there. So at one point, I had one of these. Well, I had 2 or 3 of them making candy canes. Then I realized, man, I really need to make a lot of branches here. So I switched everything but 1 or 2 of them over to. Anyway, it's kind of cool because with that kind of setup, you can set these up to whatever you want, and just split it off into different storage bins, so it gives you a little extra flexibility. Anyway, we're cranking along. Let's see how many wreaths we got. So we got 1,804. We need 2,500 wreaths. And we need 10,000 candy canes, so we've got like 4, 5, 6, coming up on 7,000. So anyway, pretty soon we'll be able to make those 500 gold stars. So I'm going to have to shift around my storage bins, but I can leave it set up like this and just get the wreaths running. So anyway, we'll be back. Okay, it's been a long road. It's been arduous. It's been tough. But I think we have done it. Making snowballs over here, believe it or not. But anyway, or snow for snowballs. But we have finished production on our gold stars. Notice our belts are all empty, and we have 514 gold stars. So let's do it. The big moment. We're gonna get our gold star on the top of the tree. Wow. Giant FICSMAS tree upgrade number 4. It needs to take longer than 3 seconds, because man, that was a clock.
You better watch out. 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 FICSMAS is coming to town.
Whoa. I don't know what that's all about. There comes some of it right there. Alright, well, we've got Christmas trees everywhere. We got Christmas trees over there. We got some there. I got some up on the four corners of the building. We got a Christmas tree down here at the train station. Yeah. Shame it doesn't light up. But anyway, there we go. And we have now, I believe we have a gold star on top of a giant Christmas tree. So let's see. Wow, there it is. And we do have lights, but can't see much. And we have ornaments, and anyway, this is it. This is the big grand finale of the FICSMAS Christmas event, or the Satisfactory FICSMAS event. I'm sure is non-denominational and works for Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and every derivation thereof. Anyway, happy holidays, everybody. It's been fun, and wow, I managed to complete this thing. That was crazy. Anyway, this is Seragio, the Grumpy Old Railroader, here with the Caney Creek Railroad on another planet, I guess you could say. So, y'all have a great holiday, and we'll see you next time.